Hey, welcome back. This is going to be, probably won't be a full video on its own, but I figured I would share it with you. Hopefully not a lot of dialogue in this particular one. I've already done a video on this, making this my new lock lever, but I do have a fail in my design. The rod that I use that goes down into the compound, the threads just aren't substantial enough. I use too small of material. The thread diameter of this bolt, which actually fits in there perfectly snug, is a little bit larger. You know, if we look at the thread diameter here, 386 thou. If we look at the thread diameter here, it's 361 thou. So I'm 25 thou difference, and that is enough to make this not tighten down tight and even jump threads, and I don't want to damage my compound. So I'm going to ditch this. I'm going to take some 1/2 inch rod and I'm going to recreate this part and make this a little bit bigger and more substantial, and I'll turn down this 1/2 inch rod to meet this diameter here. I don't have anything exactly that, but I have a lathe. I should be able to make it. So not a lot of dialogue. Hopefully this is just going to be me turning and hopefully creating a part that will actually work, so I can get back to using my handle and my new lock lever. So I'll bring you back. I got peaks on my threads. I do need to clean it up a little bit. It's a little rough, but I'll bet this one is going to fit in there. So I was able to chew it up by gripping it down, but it didn't matter because I got to turn this down anyway to match the bolt, 385 thou. This is a 1/2 inch rod after all, and 1/2 inch is 500 thou, so plenty of material to clean up once I'm done. So what I want to do is make sure this fits into the lathe tool post compound, and then what I can do is thread this side. So it's a different thread. Well, it's the same, but that fits so much better than this. This one is just so wobbly and chewed up. Just wasn't the right material, wasn't the right thickness to start with. So I got half my part done. I want to test it on the compound, make sure it fits in there right, and then I want to undercut it and put a little chamfer on the end of that, and that's going to be half of it. Then I need to get my length set so that when I put this part on, it tightens down nice and snug, all is well. So again, this is kind of a short video or a little different, but what I'm going to do is take this bolt off, put the stud in, and see how it looks, and I'll bring you back and show you. There we go. Marketed improvement. I think it's bottoming it out on, yeah. So it's definitely, the threads are too long, but it fits like it should. So that's not going to strip and pull out of there. When I tighten it down and give it a crank, it's going to stay where it needs to be. So we're doing better so far with this material. Again, I need to make sure I get this down to 385, 382 thou in order to really get that done. So the next thing I'm going to do is measure my overall length again, and I got to thread the other side before I can clean out the OD. The next thing I need to do is add the same thread, because it'll go up into my actual handle. I need to do the same thread, but it's 3 inches from the base is the top of my tool post holder, and I want to make sure that it sits tight and flush, so I want to go a little bit more than 3 inches so that this will seat down nice and tight on top of my quick change tool post. So I'm going to mark just under 3 inches, and then I'm going to face that off down to 385 thou, and we're going to do another threading. All right, we've got our diameter the same as we had it before. Now it's time to thread it again. I think I had the last one on film here. I'm going to go ahead and just do this off camera just so I can kind of come back and show you what I got. We'll have to trim all this up, but so far I like where this is going. Wasn't really recording that, sorry about that. Let's continue cleaning this up. I got my threads on here. This knob I'm going to leave because someday if I get a mill, I'm going to file some flats in here so that I can actually get it out of. All right. Now, what are we doing? I'm going to bring you on the other tripod. You seem kind of far away, but that's okay. What we're going to do is mount this up into the compound, do some test fitting, and then I'll finally turn the OD down for my shaft and clean this up. Hopefully we got a functional part now. We're going to find out. Ah, well, we'll keep recording here. I want to turn the OD down. This actually fits very well. Things are looking good. It's time to turn this OD down and clean all this up. And we'll flip it over and finish it off. What I'm shooting for is, let me take this back out, the diameter to fit this hole. And now that I've got this part like this, I can actually try to make it fit even tighter. We're looking at 404. I'm going to shoot for 400 thou and make that a fairly tight fit. I might need a little extra wiggle room from that. I'm going to shoot for 400 thou, and then we can always take a little bit off if we need to. So, let's give it a shot. Let's check it. 401 thou. 399. 399. We're going to try this, and if this is good, that's what we're going with. We'll flip it around and finish off the other side, then we'll polish it up. So I want to test the fit first. So that means take this bolt out. Gotta be close. Wish me luck. Well, it's not gonna go all the way. That fits. Perfect. 400 thou it is. Let's chuck this up over here and continue on. Gotta leave a little bit of room to finish my cut. Now we're just gonna shoot to meet that 400 thou. Then we'll polish it up. Way better. It's getting dull. My carbide was getting dull. All right, what do we end up with? .404, 401, 400. We are done. What I want to do now is polish this up. All right. We got just a little sliver here. Let's get it out of there. And then we'll test it together, make sure that it fits. Certainly looks better. We got it, we got our part made. Let's see how it fits. Then we'll bring you on the bench, do a summary. So, there we go. That fits there. If I did it right, this will slide down in there, thread in, which it does. This can come off. That fits flush at the bottom. That's what I wanted. This should be able to slide back down. That's flush. Now the real question is, will I have the clearance or do I have to cut some of that down? This is the test. That fits on there nice. Yeah, so that means that I gotta cut some of that down. Not quite done. Let me do that off camera. What I'm gonna do, if you can't really see in there, but you can see that gap. What that means is, take this off. Simple fix. What that means is this raised portion here needs to be flush with the top of this. So I'm going to mark that with a marker so we know how much to take off of the opposite side. I don't need to take it off up here. It'll be on the bottom side of it. You'll see. So if we take that off, I need to take this equivalent off of this bottom portion here. Okay, finally, again, I've got my part in here. I've got that shoulder cut down a little further. So this should seat down there far enough. I've measured it. It's not going to be hitting, it's not going to be rubbing against the top slide block, riser block. So we want to get this seated there. This should slide down there nice. Not really any wobble, which is actually preferred. Excuse me. Now, for the moment of truth, let's try this again. It looks like that is just flush. I think this might actually work. So we've got our handle. May have to do some adjustments there on that. I had the handle where I wanted it, but at any rate, this thing is now locking into place the way that I want it. I will do some adjustments with handle placement and stuff, but this thing is now working like I intended. This is the way it should be. The only thing is, that's a little bit kind of in the front, so I'll have to figure out a little bit of angular placement. A little difficult to do with that, but at any rate, I can unloosen it, tighten it down properly so it doesn't move on me, loosen it back up. That's what I wanted. So now I have a proper bolt. I'm going to bring you over to the bench, we'll do a recap, and we're going to call this video. Well, there we go. A remake that's actually worthy of an improvement here. This shaft was just too thin. This 3/8 wasn't big enough. So now I made a complete new part with proper threads, I might say. Might be a little difficult. I'll take a picture and insert it in here. But you can see the flats on this. These actually have some peaks. I got this turned down to where it's just right inside the quick change tool post. Fits right nicely inside there. Fits in here. The only thing I'll do in the future is adjust this handle so that somehow, you know, I've got it to where it's not, you know, sitting in front of the lathe. But for now, it's going to work. That's how I'm going to use it. Now I can say I'm done with this thing for now. And I can get rid of this bolt. So, there we go. Just, it irritated me that this didn't work out. And I spent all that time making this part. So I just wanted to get that done so I could reuse this. Eventually I'll put some flats on this piece so that I can actually use a wrench to take this, put this in and take this out. Every time I use a pliers or something, you mar it up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Closing the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I appreciate all of you subscribers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.